In the previous investigation, we learned that formulas are tools for representing the relationship between the values of quantities as they change together. Graphs are tools for representing the same relationship visually. Recall the candle burning context, where a 14-inch candle is lit and steadily burns until it is burned out. We will let the variable b represent the burned length of the candle in inches, and we will let the variable r represent the remaining length of the candle in inches. As the candle burns, the values of b and r vary. We will use two parallel line segments to represent the values of the burned length and remaining length of the candle. As the candle burns, the lengths of these segments vary accordingly. Now, we can make the segment representing the value of r vertical and align the ends of the two segments. As the candle burns, the lengths of these segments vary accordingly. We can use a point to represent the simultaneous values of b and r by placing a point such that the horizontal component of the point represents the value of b, and the vertical component of the point represents the value of r. As the candle burns, the point's location varies accordingly. If we trace this point, as b and r vary together, the result is a graph that represents how b and r varied together. Each point on this graph represents one instance during the burning of the candle. For example, the point shown on the graph represents one instance where the burned length of the candle in inches is this much, and the remaining length of the candle in inches is this much. However, we don't really know how much this much is. To resolve this issue, we will add axes to the graph to help us see the values of the two quantities. Using the axes, we see that the value of the burned length of the candle is about 9.3 inches, and the value of the remaining length of the candle is about 4.7 inches. This means that at some moment in time, the burned length of the candle is 9.3 inches, and the remaining length of the candle is 4.7 inches. The point shown on this graph shows that at some moment during the candle burning scenario, the burned length of the candle is 4.5 inches, and the remaining length of the candle is 9.5 inches. On the other hand, if the burned length of the candle is 11.35 inches, and the remaining length of the candle is 2.65 inches, we can plot a point at 11.35, 2.65, to represent the simultaneous values of b and r at this instance. As a whole, the graph simultaneously shows all possible corresponding values of the burned length and remaining length of the candle. Each point on the graph, however, represents the corresponding values of the burned length and remaining length of the candle at a single particular instance during the candle burning scenario.